Welcome to the BMW R18, home of the largest ever boxer twin. From a motorcycle company known for building an impressive array of touring and sporting machines, this motorcycle is BMW Motorrad's second attempt at building a cruiser. Remember the first, the R1200C? Well, don't worry if you don't. It was a custom so cool that James Bond rode it right into the sunset. Well, for the second kick at the cruiser can, BMW didn't take any chances this time out. They created a massive 1800cc boxer engine that we guarantee you will never forget. Not the looks, not the torque, not the sound. We're talking about a 225-pound aluminum and chrome sculpture sporting air and oil-cooled heads the size of footballs. If that doesn't get your attention, the 100 foot-pounds of torque will certainly do the job. Then there's the stuff you can't see. 3 engine modes, stability control, traction control, drag control, cruise control, linked ABS brakes, and oh yeah, the rear shock and most of the wiring and cables. BMW has done a mighty impressive job of keeping the focus on the R18's engine. While the single speedo instrument gauge is a clever trick sporting an LCD window loaded with info such as a digital tach and gear indicator. Seriously, I don't know whether to ride the R18 or just park it in the living room. But you don't have to take my word for it. Just ask veteran cruiser rider Jim Hardy.
So Jim, I thought this would be fun to put you on this bike because you've ridden a cruiser. How long have you been riding that cruiser?
Yeah, well, I've had bikes since I was 18 or 17 or something.
Yeah.
And I always had that style of bike.
Right.
So, but this is another page in that legacy. So this is a wonderful, wonderful bike.
I'm amazed, you know, every time I've walked over to see and talk to you throughout the day, every time you stand back, it's a beautiful bike. You are really taken by the look. Eh?
Well, if you have a look at this thing, like when you really start looking at it, everything is such beautiful, beautiful chrome and wonderful. The appointment is beautiful.
Yeah.
You look down at these cylinder heads and you go into some other place, like it's a steampunk.
Yeah.
There's a plate on the front of this motor.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. Like it's like this styling it's right up my alley. Like it's wonderful. So
yeah.
Look at these pipes. Come on.
Yeah.
So it's got a chrome drive shaft on it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it keeps coming.
I can't believe the amount of torque this engine puts out. Let's talk about the engine because you can't ignore the engine, and really everyone is going to want to know. Yeah. What's it like to ride? So what is that engine like? You had 3 modes. You had rain, rock and roll. I know you were in rock, right?
Yeah, that's I must confess, I stayed in that mode.
Yeah.
So I can't really talk to the other 2 modes. But rock is full power. Like it's all power. You're directly connected to that motor. You can feel it whatever you do anything with it. Yeah. So it's really good. And the center of gravity is so low on this thing. But we were concerned when we first saw this bike that we were going to have trouble like doing tight turnarounds and stuff like that. Yeah. Not at all. This thing is so easy to turn. It's beautiful. And in corners, it's just gorgeous, very solid. You just lean it and away it goes. So yeah. It's a well-engineered bike. It's a dream bike for me.
How did you like the transmission?
I love the transmission. It's very smooth, easy, no problem. But the way that transmission worked for me is what I'm used to. So, yeah, perfect.
The bike now comes with ABS brakes, and they're linked this time.
Right.
And I noticed that you really do have to give it a fairly solid pull. Like this is a heavy brake lever with a solid feel, which was okay. Yeah. But man, it stops, eh?
It stops. This is a heavy bike, and normally, in fact, every other cruising type of bike cruiser that I've ever ridden, you can dive the front forks if you just hit that brake. Mm-hmm. This one doesn't do that.
Any concerns? Anything? I mean, I know these bikes are designed for 2-3 hours of solid riding. Take a break, 3 more hours of solid riding. Anything that you didn't like about it?
No, I'm sorry.
No,
there's nothing I didn't like about this bike. That's really, and I would tell you if there was. But,
yeah, you would.
I liked everything about this bike. You get on it, you're immediately comfortable with it. Takes you 30 seconds to get used to where things are and how they work. And that's it. The one thing I did not try is the reverse.
Right.
But you know, if it's like any of the rest of the stuff that BMW does, it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
I was never in a situation where I had to reverse.
So who would you think is going to be gravitating to this, or who would you recommend this bike for?
I would recommend it for me, and I hope you do that with my wife.
Okay, he's the guy. BMW. He wants it. So you're the key target.
Yeah,
right? You are the target audience.
I am. I'm the target audience. Anybody who likes this style of bike, cruiser type of bike, it'll just blow your mind. It is top of the line for me. Yeah, it really is. It's a gorgeous, beautiful bike.
Wow.
That's all I can say.
Wow. Well, I think you've said a lot.
Right on.
Nice job. Thank you for coming out to Jim.
Thanks for having me, Dave. I really do appreciate the chance to ride this beautiful machine.
Nice.
Great.
You said beautiful again.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry. Beautiful. Beautiful job.
Beautiful.